Listen up, because I'm here to tell you the truth. Whether it makes you uncomfortable or not, relationships are a game, and I'm going to teach you how to win. If you've ever felt lost, confused or powerless, when it comes to understanding women that ends today, you can either remain in the dark or step up and learn the truth. What I'm about to share is the raw, unapologetic reality of how the mind works and how you can take control in ways no one else will tell you. Do you want her to be obsessed with you? Do you want her to chase you? Instead of you always chasing her. Stop wasting time on advice that gets you nowhere. We're talking about psychological power here, the kind that goes deep and gives you the upper hand in every interaction. Let's be clear. Women aren't the innocent, fragile creatures. Everyone tries to paint them as they have their own tricks, their own strategies, and they use them every day to get what they want. Think you're playing fair. Think again, you're in a war, and it's time to arm yourself with knowledge that will flip the script completely. Now, you might be wondering if this is even right. Should you be learning these things? Let me stop you right there. You can worry about right and wrong. After do you win? Morality is lesson number 1 for losers who don't understand the game they're playing. You think the rules are set in stone. Those who get ahead make their own rules. What I'm about to tell you is how to step into that level of control. This isn't about manipulation for its own sake. It's about staying on top and never being the one left wondering where it all went wrong. This isn't for the faint of heart. This is for those who are done with being nice, done with playing it safe, and are ready to take what they deserve, ready or not. I'm about to open the door to a world most people are too afraid to even talk about. But once you see it, there's no going back. Are you still with me? Because this is just the beginning. 1 triggering emotional responses. Why logic doesn't work. Forget about logic when it comes to controlling a woman's mind. Do you think reason, facts, and arguments are going to win her over? Wrong. Women don't respond to logic the way men do. What drives them are their emotions. And that's what you need to control if you want to be in charge. Stop thinking that if you explain things or make sense, she'll understand. Know what works is triggering her emotions and making her feel, not think. Women are wired to react to feelings, and that's exactly how they control you without you even realizing it. They play on your emotions, constantly acting upset, using guilt or pretending to be hurt. You've probably experienced this already. 1 minute, she's all sweet, and the next, she's tearing you down over something that doesn't even make sense. You're sitting there confused, trying to figure out what just happened while she's already taken control of the situation emotionally. But now it's time to flip the script. You need to learn how to trigger her emotions first. You want to keep her on edge, guessing what's coming next. Logic doesn't create attraction, but unpredictability does. When you can make her feel, whether that's happiness, excitement, jealousy, or fear, you can control the dynamic. She'll keep coming back for more because emotions are addictive, and she'll start to associate those highs and lows with you. Here's a pro tip. Create emotional spikes. This lesson number 2 means pushing her buttons in ways that make her experience intense feelings. 1 moment you're giving her attention and making her feel special, and the next you're pulling back and being distant. This back and forth creates confusion and makes her seek validation from you. It keeps her emotionally hooked because she'll never be sure what's coming next. Here's the truth. No one wants to admit women have an agenda. They want to control the relationship by keeping you emotionally invested. But when you learn to manipulate her emotions before she can manipulate yours, you've already won. Remember, emotions are the key. Logic gets you nowhere. Once you start playing with her feelings, you'll see how quickly she'll fall in line. Stop wasting time being rational and take control of the emotional battlefield, and you'll never lose again. 2. Using her fears to gain control. If you want to control a woman, tap into her fears. It's the oldest trick in the book, but the one no one talks about because it's too harsh for most people to handle. But guess what? Women have fears just like anyone else. And when you know what those are, you have the power to use them to your advantage. Most people avoid this topic because it feels too dark, but we're not here to sugarcoat anything. You either control the situation or you get controlled. Here's the reality. Women's fears run deeper than you think. Fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. These aren't just insecurities, they're weaknesses you can use to stay in control. Once you find out what she's truly afraid of, you can use that knowledge to make her dependent on you emotionally and mentally. For example, look at the character of Christian Grey. In 50 Shades of Grey, Anastasia Steele is constantly living in the fear of losing him. Why? Because he masterfully plays into her fear of the abandonment. He pulls her in, then pushes her away, making her fear that she'll never be enough for him. It's not just his wealth or looks that keep her coming back. It's the emotional roller coaster he puts her through. She's always on edge, wondering if he'll stay or go, and that fear makes her cling to him even more. That's how you gain control, by making her feel like losing you is the worst thing that could happen now. Am I saying you should go out there and terrorize women? Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is you need to understand what motivates her behavior, and fear is a huge part of that. When you subtly use her fears, you're the one who sets the pace of the relationship. Maybe she's afraid of being lesson number 3 alone, or maybe it's the fear of being replaced. Whatever it is, once you find that fear, you've got leverage. Bottom line, learn to identify her fears, and you'll have a level of control she won't even see coming. You don't need to play nice. You need to play smart. Fear is a powerful tool, and when used correctly, it keeps her right where you want her. 3. Mastering the push-pull technique to keep her hooked. If you want to keep a woman on edge, always thinking about you, there's one technique that works like magic: the push-pull technique. It's simple but powerful. You give her attention, then pull away. You make her feel special, then suddenly go cold. This constant back and forth creates emotional tension, and trust me, emotional tension is addictive. She'll keep coming back for more because you've created a psychological need for your validation. Let's not beat around the bush. Women thrive on emotional highs and lows. Too much attention, and she gets bored. Too little, and she feels neglected. But if you mix both, she'll never be able to predict what's coming, and that's exactly what keeps her hooked. The push-pull technique works by creating this perfect balance of giving and withholding, keeping her emotionally invested without realizing what's happening. She'll spend more time wondering what you're thinking instead of focusing on her own wants. Now, if you want a real-life example of push-pull, look no further than the infamous relationship between Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. This relationship was a roller coaster that spanned years, and guess what? Kept it in the media spotlight, the constant push and pull between the two. Justin would shower Sal with attention, publicly expressed love, and they'd seem inseparable. That's the push. Then without warning, he'd pull away, get involved with someone else, or leave her hanging in emotional limbo. That's the pull. This wasn't just media gossip. This was a masterclass in how the push-pull dynamic keeps someone emotionally entangled. Selena herself has spoken about the emotional turmoil, saying it was hard to move on because there was always this lingering sense of what if. That's the magic of the push-pull technique. It creates uncertainty, a never-ending cycle of hope and doubt. She was constantly trying to figure out where she stood, and that emotional confusion kept her attached long after the relationship should have ended. The push-pull technique created a psychological loop where no matter what, the connection wasn't fully severed. Here's how you can use this technique in your own life. First, start with the push. Give her attention. Make her feel like she's the center of your world. Compliment her. Take her out. Make her feel special. Then when she's at the peak of feeling good, pull back. Be distant. Don't reply as fast. Or act busy. This lesson, son of 4. Sudden change in behavior will throw her off, and she'll start chasing that higher again. She'll wonder why you've pulled away and try to get your attention back. That's the emotional tension you need to maintain control. The most important part, never let her feel too secure. As soon as she feels like she's figured you out, she'll lose interest. Women don't want predictable, they want excitement, even if it's emotionally confusing. That's why the push-pull works. It creates a cycle of emotional highs and lows that keeps her in you. Bottom line, don't be the guy who's always there, always easy to read. Be the one who keeps her guessing, keeps her emotionally off balance. You keep her coming back, just like the world watched Selena and Justin go back and forth for years. You control the rhythm and she'll dance to your tune. 4. How to subtly undermine her confidence. Guys, wake up. You've been doing it wrong for years, and that's why you're constantly losing. Women aren't looking for pushovers. They're looking for men who can subtly undermine their confidence, just enough to keep them wanting more. I'm not talking about outright disrespect or cruelty. I'm talking about subtle psychological tactics that make her doubt herself and keep her seeking your approval. You see, women are constantly bombarded with attention and confidence from men trying to win them over. But what happens when you're the one who isn't falling all over her? She starts to question herself, and that's when you have the upper hand. It's not about being mean, it's about being strategic. For example, look at the character of Chuck Bass in Gossip Girl. He's not the typical nice guy. He knows exactly how to get under Blair Waldorf's skin, making her feel both desired and insecure. At the same time, he'll compliment her one moment and then subtly criticize her the next. This isn't just fiction, it's a tactic that works in real life, because it keeps women on their toes. When you subtly undermine her confidence, you make her dependent on your validation. She'll start seeking your approval, wondering what she can do to make you happy. This isn't about tearing her down. It's about creating a dynamic where she values your opinion above all else. When she doubts herself, she'll look to you for reassurance, and that's where your control comes in. Here's how you do it. Start with a compliment, something genuine that makes her feel good, then follow it up with a subtle critique. For example, tell her she looks beautiful but that her outfit might not the best choice for the occasion. This creates a push-pull dynamic within a single interaction. She feels good, but then starts to doubt herself, and that doubt makes her seek your approval more. Another tactic is to show interest and then pull back. Give her attention, make her feel special, and then suddenly become distant. She'll start to wonder what she did wrong and will try to win back your attention. This creates where she's constantly trying to prove lesson number 5 herself to you, which keeps her emotionally invested. Let's not forget the importance of maintaining mystery. Women are attracted to men who are hard to read, who don't lay all their cards on the table. Keep her guessing about how you feel, what you're thinking, and what your next move will be. When she's uncertain, she's intrigued, and that intrigue keeps her coming back. Remember, the goal isn't to break her spirit, but to create a dynamic where she values your opinion and seeks your validation. When you subtly undermine her confidence, you position yourself as the one she looks to for reassurance. This gives you control in the relationship and ensures that she remains emotionally invested in you. 5. Why emotional availability makes you weak. Guys, it's time to face a harsh reality. Emotional availability makes you weak in the eyes of women. You've been fed lies by society, telling you to be open, to share your feelings, and to be vulnerable. But the truth is, women don't respect men who wear their hearts on their sleeves. They respect men who are in control of their emotions. who don't crumble under pressure, and who maintain a sense of mystery. When you're too emotionally available, you become predictable and boring. Women aren't attracted to men who are always there, always sharing and always open. They crave the excitement of the unknown, the challenge of figuring you out when you're an open book. There's nothing left to discover, and that kills attraction. Think about James Bond. He's the epitome of masculine mystery and emotional control. Bond doesn't sit down and pour his heart out to anyone. He keeps his emotions in check, and that makes him irresistible. Women want to crack his tough exterior, to be the one who sees his vulnerable side. But if he were to open up too easily, he would lose that allure. Here's the reality: women are emotional creatures, and they need a rock to anchor them. If you're constantly sharing your feelings and being vulnerable, you become another emotional burden for them to carry. Instead, you need to be the one who can handle her emotions while keeping yours in check. This doesn't mean you should be a robot, but you need to be selective about when and how you share your feelings. Be strategic with your emotional availability. Share enough to show that you're human, but never lay all your cards on the table. Keep her guessing about what you're thinking and feeling. This creates an emotional tension that keeps her interested and engaged when you do share your emotions. Do it in a way that shows strength, not weakness. Share experiences that demonstrate your resilience, your ability to overcome challenges, and your control over your life. This positions you as a strong, capable man who can handle anything, including her emotions. Remember, emotional availability is not the same as emotional intelligence. You need to understand and manage your emotions without being overly expressive. Show empathy. Be a good listener, but keep your inner world private. This creates a sense of mystery and strength that women find incredible attractive. So there you have it, the unfiltered truth about how to take control in relationships. It's not about being manipulative or cruel. It's about understanding the dynamics and using them to your advantage. Remember, relationships are a game of psychological power, and those who know how to play will always come out on top. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more insights into the psychology of relationships. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Have you used any of these techniques before, or are you planning to try them out? Remember, knowledge is power. Stay sharp, stay strategic, and take control of your life and relationships. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.